The misjudgment of God. Many behold God through a distorted lens, placing him not as the source of life's order, but as a consequence, an after effect of destinies we ourselves have authored and governed by our own rules. We construct our understanding of existence from limited sight, then assign God a role within the story we have already written. Like many who walk this earth, we did not begin our journey under the stewardship of divine authority. Instead, we first pursued paths that magnified our own image and served our own advantage. Here lies the great paradox. We often see God after the ruin has been revealed. When the brokenness of our choices surface, we turn our view upward, not in humility, but in accusation, judging God by outcomes forged without his counsel. We condemn him for what he allowed, though we never truly entered into relationship with him. From this misaligned perspective, we assess a bond that hardly exists, shaping conclusions about God based on assumptions rather than understanding. We believe God to be one thing or the other, yet our beliefs were unexamined. For we had not studied his nature nor sought the depth of his wisdom. In doing so, we failed to see a fundamental truth. We were not living under the law of God's kingdom, but under the laws of the world we had chosen to obey. Thus, the judgment rendered against God is unjust, born of ignorance and misplaced authority. Such a dishonest verdict breeds estrangement rather than communion, ensuring that a true relationship with God is neither formed nor sustained. But here's the solution. The purpose of this conclusion is not to dismantle the exposed injustice of human ignorance, but to illuminate a new way of approach, a return to a purified heart that seeks God through wisdom rightly perceived. One does not come to the divine boasting of clarity, but conscious of having fallen short. God, in his understanding, expects seekers to arrive bearing the evidence of falling paths and unwise choices, not as condemnation, but as honesty. From this awareness, humility is born, and with humility comes the courage to ask for forgiveness. In recognizing our own missteps, we accept responsibility for the decisions shaped by limited understanding. Only then can God reorient us, placing us within the perspectives and pastures uniquely prepared for our own restoration and growth. This realignment requires confession, a yielding of the soul to the purity of His order, laws established on earth yet authored in heaven. Through repentance, the self is made new, reborn into a life that begins again with fairness and grace. God does not demand that we conquer darkness by our own strength, for He knows the battle was never meant to be ours alone. Dominions belong to Him. His kingdom is upheld by authority, angels, messengers, and powers beyond human reach. In this assurance, the soul is invited to rest, not striving against evil, but trusting in divine protection and sovereignty. Trust in God is not formed by theory, but by walking with Him, by exposure to His goodness over time. From that lived communion arises true testimony. Only then can one speak rightly of God, confessing not borrowed beliefs, but the authentic glory and goodness revealed through experience.